Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel. And today I have the summer limited edition literary book club box to share with you. And it was fun because it came in this bright pink box, a little bit different from the usual cream box that we receive. This box is actually still available because it is separate from the quarterly subscription. It is $124.99, so definitely check it out. I will leave a link for you in the description box below, but unfortunately my code for $5 off does not work on these limited edition boxes. It only works on the subscriptions, but it is mauinoel and it will save you $5. Currently for the regular subscriptions, the September box, The Great Gatsby, is sold out, but you can get on the wait list for the December box, which is Persuasion, and my code will definitely work on that one. But if you are interested in getting this box, you definitely can. I have to tell you guys, I was so pleasantly surprised by this book. So let me go ahead and put the box down. I won't show you the presentation because I actually read the book and opened the gifts along the way, so it doesn't look quite as nice, and I definitely pulled out all of the shred just to keep things neat, but I will show you the packaging because I did manage to preserve that to some degree. So in every literary book club box, you receive this beautiful little envelope with a wax seal, and you get a nice note from Katie. So it says, this box features a deluxe hardcover edition of I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I think it's Dodie, not Dottie, but I'm going to say Dodie. It says 17-year-old Cassandra Mortmain and her family may live in a ramshackle old English castle, but that's about as romantic as her life gets. While her beautiful older sister Rose longs to live in a Jane Austen novel, Cassandra knows that meeting an eligible man to marry isn't in either of their futures when their home is crumbling and they have to sell their furniture for food. So Cassandra instead strives to hone her writing skills in her journals, until one day when their new landlords move in, which include two very handsome sons, and the lives of the Mortmain sisters change forever. I can't wait to hear what you think of the book, the gifts, and the whole experience. Make sure to tag us. So I have to be honest, you guys, I had never heard of this book. I realized later that she is the author of 101 Dalmatians, so that is why she is famous, but I didn't even know necessarily what the title was referring to, but this book was so charming. So on the cover here, it says, this book has one of the most charismatic narrators I've ever met, and that's from J.K. Rowling, and it is so true. Cassandra is just, she's very humorous in her writing, she's very detailed, and you really just love reading these journal entries. And then it's kind of sad at the end of the book. I'm like so sad that she is done with her journal, but you feel like everybody's in a much better place. And it does have some twists and turns, and sometimes it's a little bit like very romantic and sweet, but it definitely has an ending that leaves you wanting a little bit more. But I was just so pleasantly surprised. So with the quarterly books as well as the limited edition, and there will be some holiday limited editions that you might want to get your hands on for sure as well, she always does include a in your box sort of spoiler sheet at the very end. So I usually go through and look at all of the gifts, so you can see, for example, like this one just says page 155. So I'll go through and actually mark all of the pages, and you can see right here that I put some of those little thin tabs so that I know to go to my box and open things up. But she does give you a spoiler sheet at the very end because there are some gifts that aren't associated with page numbers that you open along the way or at the very end. So let me go ahead and pull some of these things out. For example, we have a While You Read, and it wasn't even wrapped. It's a strawberry sangria wine slush mix, and she even included a very festive paper straw. So I didn't make it because I wanted to share it with all of you guys, but one of these days I'm going to do one of these book boxes and enjoy the While You Read drink or snack or both when I actually am reading. So it tells us about the wine slush mix and how to make it. So it does give us like blend suggestions for the strawberry sangria. I'm trying to see what they suggest. I didn't actually look. Oh, they suggest red or white sangria. So there you go. Fun little thing that we got already. And there's also always a swag bag. So in case you didn't know, Katie is a talented artist. She does gorgeous calligraphy as well as drawing. So we get a little bit of that in all of our boxes, which I really appreciate. So let me go ahead and pull out our swag bag so you can kind of see. So we have a little book plate. Everything is kind of themed with this floral and this little butterfly. Even the swag bag bag has a little sticker on it. We got a cute sticker with like a perfume bottle. Love that. Sort of like old world luxury. So this takes place in the 30s, I believe. So it's kind of like a different flip side of like the English countryside. But they do make trips to London. So in my mind, I was kind of reading with an English accent. But when I read the excerpts to you, I won't drive you crazy with my English accent. But I felt like it was important to sort of imagine them that way, because then, you know, the brothers that come in are American, so you wanted that like contrast in your mind, these like crass American guys. And then of course we have a quote on the bookmark that says, "Only the margin left to write on now. I love you, I love you, I love you." And that comes right towards the end of the book. So there is some fulfilled love, and then also some like still people wanting more, and this is the flowers on the other side. So great little bookmark, of course, but very nice, hefty. This kind of reminded me of like the books that you would see in your school library, like a textured cover. Like usually this would have like a nice book cover on it protecting it, but I always like to take those off and just have it like this. So it says on the back, 17-year-old Cassandra Mortmain and her family live in not-so-genteel poverty in a ramshackle old English castle. Here she strives over 6 turbulent months to hone her writing skills. She fills 3 notebooks with sharply funny yet poignant entries. Her journals candidly chronicle the great changes that take place within the castle's walls and her own first descent into love. By the time she pens her final entry, she has captured the castle and the heart of the reader in one of literature's most enchanting entertainments. It is so true. She definitely captures you, again, with her honesty, and just very, like, it's very sweet. It's very sweet. She's a very sweet teenager and a talented writer, as is her father, who's kind of this, like, James Joycean, like, failed author who we're hoping is writing again. But it's very, there's lots of unrequited love, and like it's great. But I haven't seen the movie. I heard there's a great movie. Actually, I heard very mixed reviews, but I heard some of the casting for the movie was good, particularly for the role of Stephen. So all right, so. And then we also got a lovely enamel bookmark. This was not wrapped up, but I thought this was really, really pretty. Now, I don't usually honestly use these bookmarks because I feel like they dent the pages, but you can see it has this nice gold clip, and then it's like this dangling enamel, almost like, it almost looks like a pin, but they changed it into a bookmark. But it says clip the bookmark onto the back cover of your planner journal, so you can kind of put this on the like hefty, you know, cover part, especially with a nice hardcover piece like this, and then dangle that. But I wouldn't want it to bend up my pages, so I could see myself maybe doing that and then having it like kind of just hang over the binding of it once I put it back onto the shelf. Like that could look kind of pretty, just as like a decoration. You know how you have like your tassel bookmarks, like if you just had it hanging on the outside of the book. I don't know, but I don't like to use like hefty ones like that. That's just my personal thing. So we do have a page 46. I'm just pulling everything out. Here's another page 46. We had 2 of them. We have an open when the last page has been read. Those are always kind of fun. We have a 259. So this is what I do when I first get my box. I dig in there, I pull everything out, and then make sure that I have all of the pages marked. The book itself, of course, was in there. And then we always get a lovely print, like a word art print from Katie. So this one says, contemplation seems to be about the only luxury that costs nothing. So true. So I'm not going to take that out of the sleeve, but it is really, really pretty. You can see all the detail of the lovely flowers and, of course, the writing. And I love the quotes that she selects for all of these. So that is a feature of all of the Literary Book Club boxes. So let's start to go in. We saw our Wild Strawberry Sangria mix. Our first page that had a gift to go along with it was page 46. So they are, you know, trying times. They've like pretty much sold all of their furniture. They've tried to kind of revive some of their clothing by dyeing all of it green. So that left Cassandra pretty green as well. But it says, father came down for tea and was not too pleased that Topaz, that's their stepmother, his current wife, had dyed his yellow cardigan. It is now the color of very old moss, and he thought our arms being green up to the elbows was revolting. We had real butter for tea because Mr. Stebbins gave Stephen some when he went over to fix about working. He started at the farm this morning. So Stephen was the son of someone who worked for them, and he's just kind of stayed on, and he has the huge crush on Cassandra. So, but he has decided to go and try to make some extra money to help support the family by working on a farm. Says, and Mrs. Stebbins had sent a comb of honey. Stephen put them down in my place, so I felt like a hostess. I shouldn't think even millionaires could eat anything nicer than new bread and real butter and honey for tea. So it's a treat for them when they can actually have like a proper tea, have nice things. So let me see if I can find page 46. So it just came in this little pink wrapper. Let's see if I can open up the sticker without tearing too much. So this is what we got. We got some lavender honey tea from the bee's knees. So of course we got tea for our tea, but you know, tea is like kind of a meal for them, but it's always nice when they actually have real bread and butter, which I thought was lovely. We also got, this was the one where we got 2 gifts. So we also got this hefty other page 46 one. I just love that she designs and prints up these stickers and makes the whole experience very special. And so not only do we have the tea, we also got this garlic herb focaccia mix. So crispy on the outside, soft and chewy on the inside. It's from a company called Farm Steady. You guys, you know I love a bread mix. I love any easy baking mix, and focaccia is so good just on its own, especially with garlic and herbs, or of course with a little extra butter or olive oil, or you can even make it into a sandwich. So what a fun gift that we got. I wish that I had had the opportunity to make these things as I was reading, but that would have gotten me a little bit sidetracked, and I really wanted to stick with what Cassandra was up to. Now, the next one was on page 155. Let me find that. So let's see what's happening in this section. So they had just gone to London and they got a couple of treats for themselves. So they are now home, and she's found that Stephen has written her a poem, but it says, when I went upstairs, Rose was sitting up in bed varnishing her nails. The varnish had been her special treat out of the vicar's money. I had lavender soap. You're using it too soon, I said. The Cottons won't be back for 12 days yet. So the Cottons are the 2 brothers. So they're the new interest that has come to town, and that's probably why Rose has decided to varnish her nails. But Cassandra opted for her treat to be lavender soap. So you can probably guess what is going to be in this lovely bag. Very, very pretty one. So let's open this up. And of course, we got some lavender soap, and this is from Essentially Nola. So Southern Belle Lavender Lemon Artisan Soap. I didn't take it out of the wrapper, but it is really pretty with that natural edge, of course. And then we had page 185. So let's turn to 185. It was pretty hefty book. So it says, next morning I had something else to think about. 2 parcels arrived for me. Nobody has sent me a parcel since we quarreled with Aunt Millicent. The last one she sent had bed socks in it. Most hideous, but not to be sneezed at on winter nights. They're finishing their lives as window wedges. So there you get kind of a glimpse of her like kind of humor. It says, I could hardly believe it when I saw my name on the labels from 2 Bond Street shops, and the things inside were much more unbelievable. First I unpacked an enormous round box of chocolates, and then a manuscript book bound in pale blue leather, tooled in gold. The pages, 200 of them I counted, have dazzling gilt edges, and there are blue and gold stars on the end papers. Topaz said it must have cost at least 2 guineas. There was no card in either of the parcels, but of course I remembered Simon had promised me a box of candy if I let him look at my journal, and he had sent me a new journal too. So, guessing, you're like, maybe there's a box of chocolate. Of course not in this heat. So we have page 185, and this seemed very appropriate. I was wondering, since this whole book is a journal, 3 journals to be exact, if we would get a lovely journal. And of course we did. So let me pull this out carefully. And we got a lovely, now she did say pale blue, but we got this beautiful dark blue. I love this royal blue. I just think it's so lovely, like a faux leather journal. So it does have some flexibility. And then it is a lined journal if you're someone like me who likes to be very neat. But look how pretty the edges are. So not gilt edges, not star liner, but these really pretty like flowers like stenciled along the edge, which I thought was lovely. It does have a little notebook belongs to, and it does have a ribbon bookmark at the bottom, which is pretty. So this is our stencil edge journal, which I just thought was really nice. So this is from, it says a Flame Tree notebook. Flame Tree Journals is the company, but what a pretty blue. And it totally goes with the book itself. It's got that lovely blue accent. So I loved that interpretation of that gift, and it seemed very appropriate for this box. And then finally on page 259, let's see what it says. Father came home the next morning with a London telephone directory sticking out of the carpet bag. So this family that's come to town, the Cottons, has really sort of brought life back into the entire household, and like the hope of maybe having some money and keeping the castle. So this is, goodness, are we going to have a telephone, I asked. Again, try to imagine this in a charming British accent. Great heavens, no. He plonked the bag on one of the kitchen chairs, from which it instantly fell to the floor, throwing at the directory and various other books. Father shoved them back into the bag as fast as he could, but I had time to notice a very fancy little language of flowers, elementary Chinese, and a paper called The Homing Pigeon. Where's the willow pattern plate, I asked, trying to make my voice sound casual. So her father, who has this one book of acclaim, has stopped writing, and that is why they are so destitute. So she's hoping that all of his strange actions mean that he's about to write again, but like, this is very strange, right? He got language of flowers, elementary Chinese, and a paper called The Homing Pigeon. So I was like, well, I hope we don't get an elementary Chinese book, because I won't know what to do with that. But we got something for page 259. Let me open this up. I had opened all of these stickers so carefully, and now they're very sticky, so they went back to sticking. Of course, we got The Language and Sentiment of Flowers. So often we get a book within this book box, which I do think is kind of fun. So just like this classic, it's got information about all the flowers, these beautiful color illustrations. Of course, this Victorian floral dictionary unlocks a secret language used in the 19th century. By arranging flowers of different meanings, one could convey messages of love, devotion, friendship, or a myriad other sentiments known only to those who understood the flower's oldest secrets. Today, by using this beautifully illustrated book, the modern flower lover can arrange flowers to reflect a mood or make a statement. So every flower actually meant something, right? Yellow roses mean something versus red roses. And then finally, we have our last open when the last page has been read. Of course, it also is nice to go to the bottom of the box, because you can get the sort of cheat sheet that gives you all your spoilers, but also so you can get that lovely printout and maybe frame it or just have it on your desk or in the area where you get to read. If you have like a nice cozy reading nook, I am jealous of you. I would like a nice cozy reading nook. We are thinking of doing a little Nobot book nook and doing a reading club soon. So if you are not already part of the Nobot nook, definitely join up so you can help us decide what we're going to read. I loved this as our final one. We got another book in this book box. We had a total of 3 books. We had I Capture the Castle, The Language and Sentiment of Flowers, which I just think is like a lovely thing to have on hand. And finally, Tea at the Palace, a cookbook by Carolyn Robb. So I love tea. Like, I love going to teas. I think I've gone to every tea that we have here in San Diego. I just love the idea of it. Of course, I love the little sandwiches and the scones and the tea and kind of dressing up for it. So we have all of this information about the different places that you could have tea, like Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, of course. And then, of course, it's also going to have beautiful pictures and recipes, right? So you can have your own tea at home. Look at all these beautiful, beautiful pictures. I would love to go to a tea like that, but it also would just be so fun to like host a tea, and they show us all of these gorgeous homes like Highgrove. So you get the idea that maybe the castle that's in the novel was like that once upon a time, and they are dreaming of having these fancy teas, but they have to go to London for that. So they do have an opportunity to Rose, her sister Rose, and Topaz, which I love Topaz's name, and Topaz is a very fun character in the book. Like, I love imagining her baritone voice that they describe and her crazy wild doings. She likes to be out in nature. Look at the gingerbread soldiers in sentry boxes. That is so cute. So what a fun, beautiful, entertaining, or aspirational book, because, you know me, I'm not probably going to make all of those. Created by a former personal chef to the royal family, this brilliant collection of delectable, sweet, and savory offerings will make every tea time memorable. Let's have tea time be our secret password. By the way, guys, if you're new to this, once you come across a secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form linked for you in the description box below. Enter all that contact information. You do have to be 18 years or older. You have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. It is not associated with the Literary Book Club, YouTube, or any of the boxes that I open here. Just my way of saying thank you. At the end of the month, I'll use a random number picker, and we will select a few winners to receive a mystery box. So our secret password for today is is tea time. I'm so excited about it though, and it's kind of fun and very like timely, of course, with the passing of the Queen, to receive this and sort of live all these like British fantasies of going to tea, and also just like really admiring the writing in this book. I enjoyed it so much. It was very, very sweet. It was a wonderful read. This box was really wonderful. I thought it was well worth the price. So if you would like to get in on it, it would make a great gift box as well. It is still available. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you appreciated it, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.